Hello guys, welcome to Tech Audits. I'm Sam. Today we're gonna review the Samsung SSD 860 EVO, and I'm gonna show you how to do cloning of the SSD from your hard drive, and also I'm gonna show you how to do a fresh installation. And the laptop I'm using is Dell XPS 15. The 2014 model. So some of the things that you need before we proceed is the SATA cable. This will be used to connect the new SSD to your laptop in order to do the cloning. The second one is the hard disk enclosure. This is optional. Later, when you want to use your old hard disk from your laptop or computer as an external hard drive, then you may use this enclosure. And the other thing is a bootable USB with an operating system of your choice. I have Windows 10 within this USB, which I'll be using to do a clean installation later. Okay. And the last thing is the toolkit, which you'll use to open your laptop with. So let's begin. Now let's begin with the unboxing of the Samsung SSD. In the box there's nothing much, just the instruction manual and the SSD. The SSD is pretty light, not that heavy. So what we're gonna do now is connect the SATA cable to the SSD for the cloning purpose. It's very easy to connect it. Not very hard, just easy. Plug, and then that's it. But there is something we have to do before we continue with the cloning process. There is a software that is available in Samsung website that's for free. It's called data migration software. You can actually get it for free from the Samsung website. I'll put the link below on my description if you want to download it. So this software will help you do the cloning of your current hard drive, whether it's in your desktop or your laptop. So I've already installed the software. So what I'm going to do is just plug my Samsung SSD, and then I'm going to open the software and begin the cloning. So we're gonna open the software now. Okay, Samsung data migration. So the software is pretty straightforward. After you plug in the SSD, you'll get the first window. It will tell you start cloning. It will give you information of your current hard drive, the space, and also the partition that it has. And then the below section, it shows your targeted drive, which is the Samsung SSD 860 EVO. Also remember that your target drive, the one you want to clone the data to, should have the same or higher storage compared to the old or the drive within your computer. So the target one should have the same storage size or greater. So you just click on start cloning. There will be a warning you about everything will be erased from your target drive. That's the SSD. Just click OK, and then you have to wait for the cloning. Now the cloning takes long depending on the space or on the size of the hard disk you have. So mine is 1 terabyte. It took about 5 hours. So I just have to fast forward and skip it, and now it's done. So it says the cloning process is successful. So what you have to do now is just make sure everything is okay. Then you close the program. exit the program, and then you can restart your laptop or desktop. Then the next step we're going to do is opening our opening the laptop in order to change my current hard drive to the Samsung SSD. So in this point, I'm going to fast forward and do the opening of the laptop. It's not very hard, but you need a good toolkit in order to be able to open your whether it's a laptop or computer. So the first thing after opening is very important. You have to disconnect the battery, whether it's the desktop or laptop. Just disconnect the battery first before you do anything, before you do any upgrade in your laptop. So now I'm gonna open the current hard drive from my laptop. It's pretty easy, and you have to disconnect the SATA cable that connects the hard disk. Then after that, the hard disk has a certain security or enclosure system that you have to remove from your old hard disk, and then you have to put it to your new SSD. The metal enclosure that helps to keep the hard disk secured within the laptop. So I'm gonna opening it right now. It's a very simple step. Okay, then after doing that, I have to take that metal enclosure and then put it to my SSD. If you take a look about the size of the my old hard drive and the SSD Samsung, they are pretty same, like in terms of size, but my hard drive seems a little bit heavier compared to the Samsung SSD. So now I'm gonna just put the metal enclosure to my Samsung SSD and then screw it back and then attach it to my laptop. The process doesn't take that long. Okay, now that it's done, I'm gonna plug this SSD in my laptop. So you have to be very gentle so that you may not break anything or maybe do some effect on your laptop. So just push it gently to fit the SSD. You'll hear a click. Then after that, you just have to screw back the securing screws for the SSD. Okay. Now that we're done, there is one thing we have to do. That is to connect back the battery. This is very important. Don't forget. Connect back the battery. Yeah. Okay. When it's secured and connected, then you're simply done. That's it. The only thing we have to do now is to close and screw back the back case of the laptop, which I'll also fast forward and do it fast. So now we are done with the cloning process, and then we replace the SSD. We replace our hard disk with the SSD, the Samsung SSD, and now we're gonna screw it back and then try to power on the laptop and see if everything is still the same. Our documents, everything is arranged in the same way. Okay, now it's done. Okay. Now that we have finished screwing back the back of the laptop, now we're gonna connect the power cord and then switch on our laptop. So now my laptop is running on the Samsung SSD, so we're gonna check the boot up speed, and then we're gonna also test how fast it takes to open apps now compared to the previous hard drive I had in my laptop. So it looks pretty fast in boot up, so even signing in is a bit fast compared to my old hard disk. So as you see, just clicking on Google Chrome, it automatically opens the browser, and also I did some searching test. It seems to work perfectly, but the searching test is based on the internet speed. I'm not sure if it's based on the SSD. So it looks pretty great. So I'll try Google Firefox. Also loads up fast. I'll try to search something and it works fine. Okay. Now I'll try other apps such as Microsoft Word and see how fast it opens up. Yeah, it's pretty fast. Create a new file. Okay. Then we'll try others like Photoshop for photo editing, and yeah. From my experience, I've noticed that it opens more fast compared to my previous hard drive, and it's more smooth also. So this looks okay, fine. Now that we are done with the test of the cloning SSD performance, now we're gonna do a fresh installation. You have to shut down the laptop and then begin with the fresh installation. The thing you need is a bootable USB or CD in order to install a new operating system, whether it's Windows, Linux, or anything. So I'm gonna plug my USB with Windows 10 operating system and then switch on my laptop and then press on F12. This is for Dell. Different computer have different way of getting to the booting system. So I pressed F12 in Dell. So this will prompt a message whereby I will choose USB storage device, which means it will boot to my when it loads up, it will give you some information, language selection. Just proceed with installation, and then there will be another window which will be displayed. You have to key in the Windows 10 keys if you have. If you don't have, you may just skip and then proceed to the next. Double accept. There's two options, upgrade and custom. So you have to go to the custom because I want to format everything. So I'll delete all the drive that were previous created from the cloning process. So I'll delete everything. And then press on new, which will create some automatic extra drives like the reserve system and stuff. As you can see, now after that you can now select the primary. This is where I will install my Windows 10 operating. Press next. It's gonna take some time, but not that long. And then after that, we'll be on our way to the Windows and we'll be doing some more testing. So in the meantime, just have to be patient, do something else, and wait for it to finish. When it's done, you just have to do some setup, password and everything. Now we are back. After a day, I installed all the software that I needed, Adobe softwares, Microsoft softwares, and some software, some programming software such as R. And then now we're gonna test out the speed, opening Google Chrome, Firefox, which looks fast. Also Word, it looks more fast than the clone test we did. So we're gonna try something else. Opening Photoshop. Now we're gonna test a programming software such as RStudio and see how fast it is. So yeah, looks fast. Okay, which is pretty good for me because I do programming sometimes. Okay, now the reason why I do I prefer fresh installation rather than cloning is because with fresh installation you tend to install the software you need or you will need. With cloning, it may come with software that you previously did not want or you do not use them anymore, and that one might be a problem and might be the reason why sometimes your PC is slow, because there are some services running in behind and you don't know about it. Now I'm going to talk about this software. After you finish all installation, everything, you have to download a software called Samsung Magic. It's a good software which is used to optimize your SSD. Also, you have to check if it's the SSD is original. The software will actually show you if the SSD is original or not. It's also update the firmware of the SSD, and also you can activate rapid mode, which increase the speed of the SSD compared to the actual predicted or the actual speed which was actually shown on the website or on the SSD. So this is a very good software to download after you finish the installation, whether you did cloning or you did fresh installation. After that, just download the Samsung Magic and then go through it and then optimize your drive the way you want. Now I'm gonna show you why I talked about the hard disk enclosure. This is how we're gonna use it. Now finish with the installation, everything. Now what will I do with my old hard disk? If I had a desktop, I'll use it as extra storage inside the desktop, but I only use a laptop, so I bought the hard disk enclosure. In this case, in which I'll be using it as an external hard drive. It's pretty simple to use it. You just take the hard drive and place it within the enclosure, push it gently until you hear a click sound. So after connecting it, then you may choose to use it as an external hard disk. And in this case, if you had some files in your previous on your hard disk or on this hard disk that you need them in your new SSD, you can still access them. You just connect it and you can see the file, copy your documents or copy your saved games or copy anything, and also you can do a backup. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope it helped you in some way. I'll share everything that you see in the video in the description, and also if you have any question, please feel free to ask them on the comment section. Also suggestion of improvement or something that was miscommunicated, please feel free to leave a comment. In the meantime, welcome to my channel. I'm Sam, this is Tech Audits. Subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.